Hello and welcome to the High Performance Consciousness Podcast. My name is Matthew Paddy and I am absolutely beyond myself in sharing this episode with you today because it's one of my favorite topics of all time, and that is bending space-time. Firstly, I'll relate to the famous movie Interstellar, one of my favorite movies as well. It might be something on your wish list to watch if you haven't already. But there's a particular scene that I'll bring up in this episode that will explain how to move from point A to point B, how to move from where you are in your current life results, your current business results, your client results, to where you want to be, where you want to experience the result at the end. So let's get started. As I said, the Interstellar movie is one that I've watched many times, and there are so many extraordinary pin drops and illuminations in this movie as to what is possible for us, not as we travel into space, but more so as we travel inside, and we can start to apply, although fairly generally, the laws of quantum physics, the laws of neuroscience and consciousness as well, which you all by now, if you've listened to any of my episodes, would be well across the fact that I dig these, really geek out on them. So let's talk about for a moment getting from point A to point B. It's one topic that I bring up a lot in my mastermind calls and with my private clients as well. Quite often we'll start with an idea, and in our business, or to start a business, or even an idea to up-level or upgrade some area of our life. And point A essentially is where we are right now, where we find ourselves right now as we look outside of ourselves and we reflect on the results that we are experiencing in our outside world, whether it be clients, cash flow, relationships, health, whatever it may be. This is your starting point. This is your 0 point, where you are right here, right now, observing the sum total of all your thoughts, actions, and feelings coalescing and collapsing from a wave function into a particle. So you are experiencing a reality based on what you have previously thought, acted upon, and felt. So point A is where you are right now. Now, if you've got goals or desires or dreams, let's call those once defined. When you've defined what that is or they are, then that is point B. Most people are taught a very linear, Newtonian, slow model of producing results or attaining results in their business or in their personal life. So we are taught that in order to get from point A to point B, we must travel through time. Okay, we must travel through spaces in order to experience time. So we must perform certain tasks at certain intervals in order to arrive at our outcome, in order to arrive at our destination, our desires fulfilled. So bear with me if it's a little bit mind-popping at the moment, because I will go into a grounded explanation of all of this. And the best way to do that is to really think about any goal that you've had before. And when you start to project your mind and your energy towards that goal and the attainment of that goal, immediately what will come up from your conscious mind is how. How do I get there? So we become trapped in how. We want to know how to get from point A to point B in the fastest time possible. And if you're an entrepreneur or business owner, then you may have stumbled upon, or stumbled in this process, feeling maybe frustrated or thwarted through your efforts, or maybe feeling impatient that why isn't it my results arriving faster, because I perceive I'm doing the right work, the right action at the right time. So the critical thing to remember here is that you can bend space-time. You can experience your results ahead of time, and this is the perfect opportunity to enter the Interstellar movie conversation. So when we talk, there's a specific scene where Cooper and Romley are discussing how to get into the black hole and what the black hole is. And Cooper says to Romilly, well, explain it to me. What's going to happen on the other side? So he draws essentially a dot on one side of the page and another dot on the opposite side of the page and says we fold space-time. So we fold the page in half, and he drives a pen through point A, the first dot on the left, through the page and through the dot of point B. So we've folded the page. We're essentially bringing the gap, the perceived gap between where we are, point A, and where we want to be, point B, together so that they coexist in the now moment. They coexist in the state of now. So how do you do this? Well, when you start to think about that where you are is point A, as I've said, you tend to look forward into the future. You perceive your future results or your perceived outcomes and your achievements that you desire sometime ahead of you. So that is point A. So you are observing towards your goal, if you can get my drift. So you're looking towards your goal sometime in the future. However, point B is your when you live and breathe at point B, you are actually observing from that completed state, from that fulfilled state. So imagine that you've got a line on a page, left to right. A is on the left, point B is on the right. As you are observing yourself already in the outcome, already in the desired, the fulfilled outcome of point B, you are observing reality from that destination, not towards it. You're observing it from it, which means that you are already choosing to experience the result ahead of time. So if you were to unpack this a little bit more deeply, you would say that point B is a state of being, how you think, act, and feel on a consistent, repeated basis. And this takes training. So we must train your body and train your mind to believe that the result has occurred ahead of time, which is in point B. So I hope you're following me along this. So essentially, you are folding space-time. So if you have a goal to increase your client numbers or your business or start a business or repair or upgrade or change a relationship, whatever it is, your health, go to point B, go to the destination and unpack the details of what it feels like to experience your desires fulfilled. So when you unpack that, you could do it in bullet point form. So I'd feel more expanded, I'd feel more free, I'd feel more excited about the work that I do, I feel, X, Y, and Z. These become the basis of your intentions. And we're going to go into intentionality a lot deeper in upcoming episodes. But right now, if you're following me along, then when you observe your reality from point B, your desires fulfilled, the results already achieved and attained, then you take on the hue, the substance, the physiology, the neurology, and the energy of your future right now. I'll let that settle in just for a moment. So when you are engaging a new state of being, the state of being of your preferred reality, your new future as point B, when you are choosing to immerse yourself and embody that state of being right now, there is no separation between where you are and where you want to be. And little by little, the more you practice this and the more you enroll yourself and your physiology and neurology and your energy into the new future, you take on the qualities of that new future. Your body changes at a molecular level, and so does your external reality, because your external reality is the reflection of your personality. Okay, I'm dropping some big bombs here. If this is the first time you've heard or engaged any of this, these types of subjects or material, then you may want to go back over and re-listen to this episode again. Okay, so your personal reality, that which you experience and that which you see outside of you, is your personality. And your personality is how you think, how you act, and how you feel on a consistent, repeatable basis. So, living in point B is your new plan A. Living in point B, your desires fulfilled, is your new plan A. And this is one of the major roadblocks I see in entrepreneurship, that we forecast out right into the future, whether it's 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. That's okay to do that. But in forecasting out, you maintain the perspective from point A, which means you are looking toward your goals in the hope that one time or one moment in the future, somewhere in the future, you're going to experience that reality. When in fact, you can flip the scales and you can fold that metaphorical piece of paper to bend time and space by moving your awareness with very clear intention and very specific outcomes that you want to experience to point B. So imagine that you are about to start a business and you have already identified the niche, the problem that you're solving, and the promise that you can deliver on, and you've decided on the value exchange that you want to ask for or engage in delivering that service and fulfilling that promise to your future clients. So you can go about creating a website, social media, creating funnels and lead magnets and all these sorts of things, which are vital, a vital piece of the puzzle in building a successful business. However, if you remain in point A and in the doing and in the practicing of the how and searching for the how to get there, is this right? Is this the best path? Then you are going to experience obstacles in the way, and you're going to lose momentum and lose energy and focus and belief that your desires are possible, or the achievement of your desires are possible. We've all been there. I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, got the hat, the undies, all those sorts of things. And I'm sure you can relate. So imagine when you're first starting out with your business. Right now, you are at point zero. You can bring everything to zero today and ask yourself the question, what does it feel like to experience my results, my desired results? What does it feel like to achieve those right now? And this will give you a vital clue as to where to place your attention and where to direct your energy from point B. So remember that you are skipping like a stone across the water here. You are still doing the practical day-to-day in your business to set up the systems and the tools and the processes so that you are following a formula. However, behind the scenes, like the below the waterline, you have become very clear using your imagination and using your 5 senses on what it feels like already to have experienced your results or your desires fulfilled. So it is vital that you move your awareness to point B and you observe your reality from point B. And in as far as that, you take on the qualities, the neurological, physiological, and energetic qualities of your new future right now. I've said that a number of times, so I hope that sinks in. So at the beginning of your day and the end of your day, you are rehearsing your success. You are rehearsing what it feels like to have your goals, your intentions, your desires fulfilled. Rehearsing trains the body, it trains the mind. You are an entrepreneurial athlete. You are an athlete of the business world, or an athlete of your own health, an athlete of your relationship. You must train yourself to experience the results ahead of time. So this does bring up some questions for people along the way. Say, well, and this is what I've heard come back to me many times, which is, so is this the new how when the penny drops? Boom. This is the new how. The new how is following the day-to-day actions so that you are showing to yourself, proving to your physiology that you are aligned and enrolled through your actions on a day-to-day basis with your desired future. However, you are not lost in the day-to-day movement of your body and the movement of your mind and the movement of your hands on the keyboard or the conversations that you're having to get things set up. You are moving your mind, and your body will follow yourself into the future. So you master your mind, and then your mind becomes the master of your body. Because a lot of entrepreneurs have their body as the servant, as the master of the mind. Their mind has become the servant of the body. And we're going to go into this as well in future episodes. So essentially, shortcutting the process there is when we are enrolled through the body as the master, then we will respond to our addictions. We will respond to our belief systems based on what I've done and what worked or what I haven't done and what did work or didn't work. So our body will display signals by way of emotions and temperament and our character as to what we believe is possible for us, what we believe is true for us. So that when the body is the master of the mind, then we will start to procrastinate. We will take on an old identity that is maybe feeling like it's in victim consciousness. Maybe it feels that it's overwhelmed. Maybe it feels stress. Maybe it wants to bring in some sabotaging behavior to stall or block your progress. So that's why we want the mind to reclaim its mastery, and the body becomes the servant of the mind. Eventually, they both work in unison. They both work harmonically together to produce your results. So your mind can picture the desired future, which is point B, and your body now is instructed by the mind, this is what it looks like. Now, this is how I want you to feel. This is how you feel when you are experiencing those results. And through rehearsal, the morning and evening practice, and by taking consistent, repeatable, aligned action throughout each day, you are effectively bending space-time and you are living from point B, which is your desires already fulfilled. So if you have any questions, any comments, then I encourage you to leave them below. This is a bit of a mind bender for if it's the first time that you've heard this. So the mind becomes a bit of a pretzel and the body may resist. It might say that I don't have the belief in my body just yet. I don't have the belief that I can experience my desires ahead of time and that I can train my body as the servant of my mind, ultimately becoming the partner with my mind to bring about and experience about those future realities right now. Because in entrepreneurship, we're taught to be outside of ourselves. What does the client want? What does the patient want? What does the market want? What do I need to build? What does it need to look like in order for me to have success in all the moving parts of technology and the deliverables of your business? However, when you reverse engineer the outcome, then what magically starts to occur is that everything folds in to your clarity. It starts to fold in energetically into the process and conviction of you living in point B, which is your desires fulfilled. So you will start to experience signs and synchronicities. There will be synchronicities that show up, chance encounters, chance opportunities. And it's your role to be aware of these and to, in your awareness, ask, is this aligned? And how you know it's aligned with your end, with your preferred reality, your plan B, is does it match from a feeling perspective what your desired results feel like? So if an opportunity comes to you and it feels the same as your future, your desired future reality, then there's an alignment. And then you can move on that. And my encouragement is that serendipity loves speed. So if you notice something or synchronicity, then move on it at speed And don't be attached on the outcome. Just move on it, make that call, return that email, say yes to an opportunity, and just watch as the path begins to reveal itself more easily, more fluidly, and consistently for you, because you are living consistently, repeatedly, in training your mind and your body into a new future. So I hope that this episode has sparked some new imagination for you, some new thought, some new awareness that the world of quantum physics and neuroscience is very, very connected. And although we haven't gone into the deep science of this approach, I want to make it as clear as possible and as grounded as possible so that you can bend time, you can bend space-time around yourself by being clear inside yourself on what your point B looks like. Enroll yourself in that and experience your future reality right now. So from me here to wherever you are in the world, dream a better dream, and remember, it's all you, baby. See you in the field.